Hey everyone, it's Jessica here with another layout for the Spiegel Mom Scraps design team. Today I am using this photo of my baby girl from when she turned a year old and the Citrus Summer mix. So I've pulled out some of the Boho Sunshine collection by Simple Stories to use today, and I'm going to be lifting this layout from Paper Issues from Lacey for one of the challenges over there. I'm going to start this layout by pulling out a piece of the pattern paper from this collection and just tearing it up. So I'm just using it to layer and create some paper strips here, and I'm just roughing up the edges there with the edge of my fingertips just to pull them up off of the paper and give them a little dimension. Since I used the same piece in the same pattern for each one, I wanted to be able to tell that they were actual layers. So I'm just using that there. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down on the bottom, and then my other one here, I'm just going to mark out with a pencil where that's going to go because I want to add some mixed media to this. So I'm using some Shimmerz here, and Here I Am and Oh My Squash, and they're just some various shades of orange, and I'm just using those right here by adding some water directly to my page. Now this page is pre-gessoed. I applied some clear gesso to this before I started this layout and let that dry so that I would have a nice base to hold some mixed media. And then I'm just flicking it on here, just creating some dimension and some splatters with some various colors. And I also added a little bit of white using some, I think it's probably whites of their eyes if I remember right, just in the bottle spray. So I'm just dabbing up a little bit on the edges there just to soften it a little bit, and then that's pretty much going to be my mixed media. I'm going to add a little bit of gold in the Minor 49er in the Inklings here in a bit, but that's going to be pretty much what it looks like. So I'm not going to do too much more, just going to add a little bit more splattering here, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. So super easy mixed media there. I'm just going to lay that aside to dry for the moment and go to work on my photos using some scrap here. This is just some scrap white from my stash that I had used with some other mixed media on a different layout, but I didn't want to waste the whole sheet of paper, so I figured I would use the rest to mat my photos with. So I just matted it with some white cardstock first, and then I'm pulling out the mini paper pad from this collection that I'm going to use to add a whole bunch of layers to my photo, and then I'm going to pull out the embellishments and embellish all around this layout. I've got lots of patterns that I'm pulling out here from that mini paper pad, as well as some tissue paper. I really like to put tissue paper behind my photos just to add a little extra. And I'm going to add that first, and then I'm just going to rough up the edges of the pattern papers just using my fingertips, or my fingernails actually. And then I'm just going to keep adding a whole bunch of layers, just using scraps mainly from that smaller paper pad. And then I'm just kind of layering them just however they fall, and just using the little bits and pieces, just trimming them down as I go. And I'm just using a whole bunch of them just to layer all around my photo. So I just love the way that that looks with all these little pattern pieces just peeking out all around the photo. And I'll probably add a little tab or something too around that. So I just love the way that that looks. Here's my paper coming back in now. It's almost dry, so I'm going to go ahead and play with it now. I ended up using it the way that the sketch had it. I was going to flip it and use it on a more vertical design, but I ended up just sticking to Lacey's sketch or Lacey's layouts and using it the same orientation as she had. So here's that Minor 49er. I'm just going to add some splatters using that gold. In the end, you don't really see it too much because I do go back in and kind of dab it up with my paper towel, but I know that it's there a little bit, and I just wanted to add just a little bit more dimension. So that's how it's going to be. That's pretty much what I'm going to do with my background, and then my photo is going to go about right there. So then I'm just pulling out some of the embellishments from this collection, and I'm going to add a whole bunch of embellishments, and then I'm going to add all those gorgeous sequins from that Citrus Summer sequin mix there, which is quickly becoming my most favorite mix, and I am just loving the colors in it. It's just beautiful, and it goes perfect with this collection. So here's the embellishment pack. I'm just going to pull out a bunch of these little die cuts and some of the chipboards from this collection and finish up embellishing, and then I'll throw those sequins on. So here is the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this process today. Remember to use my code in the shop, which is just Jessica15, to save 15% on any sequin mixes. And I hope you guys liked this one and enjoyed the process today. I hope I've inspired you to create something. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.